Morning Star Champion is a Namibian living in London with her husband and two children. The couple with their 2-year last-born tested positive for the coronavirus and have been under treatment or under home confinement for the last 14 days. Now joining us via Skype from London is Morning Star Champion. Mr. Champion, good afternoon and thank you so much for making the time to join us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first and foremost, Mr. Champion, do you have any idea how you and your husband contracted the virus and how your last-born was also infected?
We have got absolutely no idea at all. It's very difficult to tell how you get the virus, but all I know is that it would have entered our bodies through our mouths, our nose, and our eyes. We don't know at what point. However, my husband started showing the symptoms first, so we would assume that he got it first, and then it was me, and then it was the baby.
So what were your first thoughts after you were then identified as positive, and how are you and the family doing at the moment?
Well, the first thought was obviously, you're scared because there is no cure. I mean, that's a fact. But the best thing that we wanted to do was to isolate ourselves. So as soon as my husband started showing symptoms, we isolated the entire family. We've now been at home for 15 days, 16 days actually, and it was just a matter of trying to keep contamination low as much as possible. We don't live in the biggest of houses, so we had to share the small space that we have and just try and disinfect as much as we can.
Now, of course, it is well reported that there isn't a vaccine or any treatment at the moment. But what sort of treatment have you been receiving during this time, and how is your recovery faring?
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. There is no cure. And so the only thing you can do if you're a healthy person is stay home and try to help your body to fight the virus. You can do that by keeping your fever low, taking paracetamol. That's what we did. We took paracetamol every 4 hours, and we gave the baby paracetamol twice. I think we gave him twice that day. There is really not much you can do. I came up with this concoction of ginger and garlic and turmeric with lemon and honey, and I just put it in a mug and add some water, some warm water, and drank that. My only concern was to ensure that I helped my body somehow to fight this virus, and my symptoms only then lasted 24 hours. And again, please let me emphasize that is not a cure. It's simply just a remedy, a home remedy to help you cope with the virus.
Indeed. Now, of course, the virus has also made its rounds here in Namibia. What would your advice be to Namibians who are currently, of course, then panicking over this coronavirus pandemic?
My main advice is please listen to the government. Please listen to the regulations put in place by the Ministry of Health and Social Services. Please stay home, and if you absolutely have to go out, stay 2 meters away from the next person. This virus doesn't travel on its own. We are the ones who are moving this virus. So if you stay home and look after your family and wash your hands and follow the Ministry of Health and Social Services guidelines, you will not only help yourself and your family and your community, but you will also be helping the government to defeat this virus.
Well, Ms. Champion, thank you so much for making the time to join us, and we certainly wish you and your family all the best as you continue to recover.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. There was Morning Star Champion, a Namibian living in London, who, of course, her and her husband, and of course, her young last-born child tested positive for the coronavirus. And she was just sharing her information in terms of how she has, or how they've fared during the last 15 days that they've been under self-quarantine. And of course, then just some of the tips that we as Namibians can also follow from our standpoint to ensure that we remain safe.